I don't want to spend a lot of time now talking. I have to start over again with my daily videos. I couldn't keep it going before with work, university, and training. It was driving me kind of crazy. It was not something anymore that was kind of fun, but I think still that it's quite important that I use this hobby, I would say, to practice. Even I could approach this like to read something and to take out my thoughts about what I read about. So yeah, it's a good way to practice my articulation, my thoughts, to put it in order. Not to talk too much about fitness itself, more about the things that are real important to me right now. I have spent a lot of time thinking about in meaning, what is meaning, why it's meaning important in our lives. I can imagine that people don't ask themselves this question, because one of the things I learned about Buddhism, or that one of the things that Buddhism want to teach you, I think it's maybe the most important thing is that life is suffering, and it's hard. Life it's really hard, and I don't know. Maybe if you just stay protected all the time, if they're by your parents, if the parent protected your whole life, maybe you don't get to know how hard actually the life it is. Because it's kind of funny that I think till I was 18 years old, of course you have your struggles with school, with colleagues, with your peers, with your friends and stuff like that, but your parents protect you for the real world, with all the violence and hardness and malevolence and evilness that exists, all the troubles and problems and all the struggles you have to keep, not only to be able to eat, just to have a real good state of mind. I think, I don't know if how big this social media role take a part in all of this and all the mental illness that we're having. What I have been able to see in a lot of papers now that I'm studying that is that social media doesn't predict mental illness or depression. It's kind of the way around. That if you're depressed and or an anxiety, if you have anxiety, it's more likely that you will use a lot of social media, but it's not the causality itself of the use of social media that causes depression. There's been a lot of studies in that field, and it haven't been found anything. But I think it's kind of the way these studies are made. It's not like a longitudinal, it's a cross-sectional study. That means that there's one point that are the studies taking part of, and not in a long time span. So maybe that's something that we will see the results in a couple of years. I don't know. But yeah, the what I want to point out is that life is not hard, and since I'm living like since I guess with almost 10 years already alone, I could say that life is beautiful, but it's it's not easy. And I think everyone one day wake up and say, what am I doing this for? Why I'm keep struggling and getting up like really early and go to work or go to class or do this damn homework that I have to do, or just to put your ass in this chair and do what you have to do. Why? Because it's not easy. And I would find like sad that people just do it because okay, it's normal. I think it's required for everyone, just for a good state of mind, to ask themselves why are they doing this. I don't actually like to talk about this, even I find it deeply interesting to people. I don't like, because I think it's more a personal topic, but what I've heard that from other people talking about this is a lot of people doesn't think about that much. Maybe they take an easy way out in religion, that say, yeah, and this at the end I will die and I will go to paradise. For me, that's not enough, and I don't believe in that. I haven't like grown up in a really Catholic environment. I went even to a Catholic school, which is not the normal case for Mexico, because our story, the religion and the states are separated. So if you want to take a religious classes, you have to go to a private school. And my parents didn't send me to the school just because of religion, just because the quality of the education. But still, I've grown up. I have to pray pretty much every day. We had a Gottesdienst pretty much one I think once a month, I guess. And maybe this is the case because I spent a lot of time in my childhood with my grandparent, which is a person that knows a lot and read a lot. Maybe one of the most wise people that I have ever met in my life. And he was against the church, maybe not against religion, but against the religion, or against the church as an institution. And along the way, I think in this 2 millennia, the religion get corrupted as well, in a sense. The last few, I would say the last few years, I was trying to give it a shot. Okay, maybe I find meaning in other religions. I try Buddhism, Hinduism. Hinduism, I find it fascinating. There was a book, it's called Bhagavad Gita, and there's really interesting, how do you say, definitions of a lot of stuff that I find is interesting. It's give me to realize certainties about life, why life is that hard, why I think the main argument is that everything is constantly changing. They tell about, I think that's the main argumentation, everything's changing. That's why you have to remain detached the whole time about everything. It's actually better to not have feeling. They actually define, I guess, the wise man as someone who is either happy or sad. He doesn't feel pleasure or suffering, because they know that everything is another side of the same coin. Sadness and happiness, pleasure and misery, and because everything is constantly changing. So they try to assimilate all the stuff, but remain like in I think they say something about the sea, that with the waves, there's a lot of waves and storm, but the sea remained the same. I found it cool at the beginning, but I think the happiness and sadness of this life is maybe one of the most beautiful things that one of the most beautiful things that are in our lives, and just to be like this guy called feelingless. I would, no, I don't know, that's for me not something you should, or it's not something to strive for me. And they of course they have this believing that you will live again, and depending how you were able to live, if you follow these rules to be pretty much without feeling anything, that you will reach the Dharma, and you will exit life itself. Because if you are living now as a human, is that in your life before you were okay? If you were downgraded to an animal, then or an insect, that you were a bad person, and only if you are like a wise man, then you can exit the life, and without you exit the suffering that life itself means. So I don't believe that I will born again as something. I have this pretty much scientific idea that when you're dead, and that's all. Of course, we can discuss more deeply about this equilibrium, this perfectnesses of the universe, of this universum. Did it say that in English? I don't know. But the universe, about all this perfection that is around. But we will have to talk deeply about quantum mechanics and the whole new discovery that we have made in the last 100 years as human beings, and know that if time doesn't play a role anymore, and there are millions or billions or billions of tries, then somehow the perfect universe will take places. And there's a lot of theories that there is not only one universe, some several universes. And the fact that we live in this universe, that everything is perfect, because if the laws of physics in a very fundamental way would vary it in micro point to the -4%, I don't know, then the stars wouldn't be able to burn their fuel, and there won't be planets, and etc. etc. So they talk about the religious people talk about this perfection, but it's the same way. Is that why do we exist in this planet? Because in this planet exists the conditions to exist, to life itself. And I think it's important to remark that life as we know it, because there's a lot of things that we don't know. A lot, I think. All the matter that we can see, around 5%, and even there's I don't know. I think there's more stars that sand and the earth. So you can imagine how many planets there could be, life that we don't know, that we could ever imagine that could happen or exist. So this is the same way why the universe exists, why we exist in this planet Earth. Why is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, and everything is just because if these things wouldn't be this way, then we wouldn't exist. The answer is pretty easy. So I don't want to debate a lot of my question about meaning. So yeah, I tried to I came up with philosophy and trying to be a good person. I think they pretty much take a lot of what is in this I think Eastern religions like Buddhism and Hinduism and try to apply it in a pretty factible way. I came up with the book of Meditations of Mark Aurelius, and it's a book that pretty much changed a lot in a way it see life itself. I was really, after reading it, to read the facts of the most powerful man in the whole earth, and he was writing only for itself, like his personal diary, to be a good person, to be good, you know. That was something so motivating and inspiring to me. I was really pushing every day, striving to be a good human being. The sad part, that wasn't that easy. I think we all are hard on yourself because we know, even if we have a bad thought about someone, you know it. You don't have to do anything. Just you know everything you think. So it's kind of stupid an argument, but that's the way it is. And sometimes I had a lot of hate on me, in my soul. It was kind of burning, and I didn't understand why, because I was really striving to. I really put in a lot of effort to be to get rid of all these negative feelings. Meditating and remaining myself, reading every day. Okay, you should be like this and that. And it wasn't something that was easy. So I have to start to read about psychology, what it was to think the way it is. I came up with a book from my favorite writer, which is Erich Fromm, of psychology. And I think the soul of the people of Germany is this is mentioned, and he talks about three main factors why the people are evil. Then I read one. It was the anatomy of the destructiveness. It was a pretty big book, quite interesting. But Selim mentioned was more small and more easy to read, what you said. And I quite understand, if I got to summarize this, is just there's an instinct to survive in us, to be like full of how do you say prejudices. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but all these negative feelings like envy, greediness, hate, and there are reason why, a biological reason to be impregnated in our soul, and that's something that you easy or even you can get rid of forever. Now there will always be there, and there's a reason what they are there. Or you're angry, for example, when you're angry, you're able to maybe I don't want to deviate. Maybe I will talk about this, what happens and with all this negativeness in another video. But what I understand is that it's important to have all this capability, all this not all this potential, would I like to say. And at the end, I at the end, I found I was content, more content to myself, for the person who I am with all my flaws, and try to find meaning in life itself, in the process of living. Would you say? Because after reading, seeking all this access on religion, and then being like conscious about the vastness of the universe, how small and insignificant we are, but at the same time so important, because we are kind of the universe expressing itself as a human for a little while. Like, if the universe takes conscious of itself for a little tiny piece of moment, because we're in if we take the time of the universe, we're just like my millisecond there as a human being. So we're just spontaneous and so ephemeris. But yeah, I think there is not meaning at all in your life, but it's important to have a meaning, a personal meaning, a micro, in the micro perspective of everything. It gives you, I think it's the instinct of life itself. Yeah, it's an instinct. It's the instinct of life. So if someone tell you, yeah, my life is meaningless, it's like their soul went away from him. It's without you doesn't have a soul. And the way I at least I'm trying to find meaning is in improve myself. I like this quote from Socrates that said there's a lot of people. No, it's a shame to get old without being able to see what your body or what you're capable of doing. And for me, that's my meaning. I put a lot of effort to see how far do I can get in this life. At the end, you will die, and one won't play a huge role. Maybe the people that love you will not quite abandon you, but yeah, people tend to be more to pass the love not to the older generation but to the younger generation. And I see myself that with my grandparents, I have a lot of love for him, but I don't have much contact with him, and not because I don't want to. So, and I see that the kids of my grandfather, they are more concentrated in their life itself and to their children than are to their grandparents, who give you everything. That's normal, because all the love that you receive as a child, you won't return it back. You will always give it. You all the love that you get, you remain in it and waiting to give it to your next generation. So you won't be loved the same way as you love your child. It's as well a biological necessity, I guess, to always being or seeking life itself. So it's something personal, the meaning, something meaningful, to take care of you, to try to be good with yourself, not to be happy, because like I said, I think happy and sadness there's kind of beauty in sadness as well, but to be content, to be proud, if you're struggling, to be proud that you're making the best of it, and even when you have enough, when you get enough for yourself, then to give it off to your family. If you can maintain your family, then maybe do something good for society. But always this fight kind of, for me, that's where it's meaning to be found. Because I look all the people that I admire, and I don't. All the people that I admire is something. People that are doing something hard, something that's not easy to do. They are fighting every day, striving to be better, striving to do something that's it's worthy, and the most important thing is something they're doing good. They're doing good for the society, good for the people. That's what you should strive for, and I think that's where you find meaning. And maybe you can spend your whole life trying to find, okay, this is my purpose. This is what I came to Earth. You could try it. You can spend your whole life find it, but what else do you have to do? Living life just yeah, okay, I'm here. Someday I will die, and yeah, I get to paradise, and I will get the forgiveness of God itself. So it's for me not a life living worth living. I see one of my roommates. I mean, there's not right form to live. I don't want to say that I got decoded the best way to live. I have a lot of flaws, and I talk a lot of shit. But I see the way they are living, and I feel kind of sad. But at the same way, should I be sad for me that I'm like criticizing, trying to, in some way, because that means indirectly that I feel superior, or I feel that I'm in the right path. But there's a lot of way to live life, but at the same time there are paths that are not they're not, how do you say, that you wouldn't admire, that you wouldn't. But a lot of people would argue, yeah, but I don't want to be admired, I just want to live and chill and stuff like that. But that's fine. I find it sad in some way. I found it living soulless. So my roommate told me, yeah, I want just to get a degree, whatever it is. I actually picked the easiest one, and I want to go to the to somewhere in the beach, on my coffee and chill. So that for me is, yeah, I don't know what to think about it. I have spent a lot of time. Before I was kind of mature, thinking that it's only one way, that was the right form to approach life. There's many forms, but I think the most important thing is, each one of us should take care of ourselves, take care of your family, of your loved ones, and if you have enough of it, if you can deal with all this heaviness, all this, how do you say, all this load, then you should strive for, deal with, do something good for your community, to to try to pick up something that you can barely lift. Um, um, and yeah, at the end you will get stronger trying to do that. But yeah, for me that's the way. Oh my god, I already have fun for 30 minutes. The time flies. But yeah, I hope that I get to get to do this often. It's kind of hard to get in this state of flow. I actually didn't feel the time pass by. I just talk. I didn't actually prepare anything of this, but it's kind of fun. But you have to be in the right state of mind, I guess. I try to be on my purpose. I try to I work out so hard. I read, I meditate, and it's kind of good. I'm gonna eat something good. I'm going to try to relax. I didn't have to work today, but I have to work tomorrow, so I will try to get it easy, and to be a good person, but as well recognize this evil part of me, and to integrate it in this shadow part, not to cast it away. It's more than just to integrate it in me, and I get a lot of respect by integrated, and I see it myself. The people that I respect, the people that I treat different with, I treat it good, because in some sense you know what they're capable of. It's not this sense of threat or aggressiveness, more respectability, I would say, authority. Yeah, but there's another topic where I can talk about tomorrow. I think for today was enough.